All right. So, what do 2 and 7 have in common?
Oh,
That's the question.
crikey. Is it? It sounds to me like it reminds me of one of those IQ lessons that I always fail miserably at, and well, more than get failed miserably at, I get really annoyed with them.
All right.
But
Well,
what's similarity between two and seven?
yeah.
I've no idea. I don't know.
Is there
Don't know.
any answer?
Any answer?
Yeah. Can you find a similarity between 2 and 7?
They're both numbers.
Well done.
Or
Yeah.
that's it.
Or okay.
Or
I like where this or could go.
okay. Well, two's a nod is two seven 2 and 7. Oh no, I can't think of anything else.
All right. Cool. Cool. It's a question that is on like if you're going to be assessed for autism, it's one of
Oh,
those
okay.
it's one of those
Oh,
questions. Um
okay.
my answer was 14
Okay, cool. Yeah.
because you get two,
Yeah.
because if you do the times table, both
Mm.
7 and 2, that's where they intersect.
Hmm.
Um, one of the now the point of this is how do you think? So typically, and I'm not saying this is necessarily you or me, but
Mm.
typically, a neurotypical person will say it's a number. They're both numbers, right?
Okay.
A neurodivergent person will assume that they are numbers and then look for some other pattern to
Yeah.
find that connects them. So one of the typical ones is so my wife's answer was 5, and I was like, how did you come up with 5?
Yeah.
And then her thing was like, oh, okay, well, because it's like if you have like 7 minus 2 equals 5, right?
Right.
And then she kind of explained it like, right, well, if you have a
Oh, okay.
volume knob and it's number 2
Yeah.
and that's too quiet, and you crank it up to number 7 and that's too loud, then you'll probably go for 5, right?
Okay.
Right. And then
Yeah.
the other answers are things so, and I was like, this is crazy. And then I went online and I looked, and 5 is like one of the most common answers that come back
Wow.
to you. I could only find a small pocket of people who said 14. There was a surprising amount of people who said that the similarity between 2 and 7 was Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay.
And I mean, I could see Tuesday because it's the second day of the week if you count Monday as the first, but then
Yeah.
Thursday's not the 7th.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure how that happens, but quite a few people do Tuesday and
Okay.
Thursday as the
Blimey.
colour.
Okay. Because
So
my first response was like nothingness. Obviously, it doesn't sound to you like a response, but in my head, the response was like tumbleweed. No,
right,
well, maybe that's not such much a pocket response. It's more like a little tiny, little
right.
tiny hole response.
I
Tumbleweed.
did
I was
I
my
did
thing.
see someone who had who had the answer of nothing. They said, I said nothing, and then there was like a sort of a crying
Okay.
emoji
Okay.
after it. So yeah, so
Okay.
it's
Cool.
a it's a it's a it's a one of those questions. So if you're
Nice.
listening,
Okay.
what
Well,
did you say?
I
See,
was once. I was in. Go on. Sorry. Go on.
I was just gonna say, I thought that you may have gone with the shape because the 2, because if you flip a 2
I was thinking it.
upside down,
I did think of that.
Okay.
I didn't say it. I thought it, but didn't say it.
Right.
I abandoned it
All right. As a
as an
silly
unfinished
answer.
thought.
Right.
As a silly answer, yeah. I did thought, well, if I flip the 2, it could become a 7. Not turn it, because it wouldn't work. If you flipped it, I was thinking it would be a 7.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my second thought after the tumbleweed. I
Okay.
thought if I flipped it, it'd become a 2 would become a 7.
So that would be your first answer then. Your
Yeah.
first actual
Yeah.
answer would
Yeah.
be it's because of the shape.
Because of the shape.
All right. There we go.
The mirrored forms of each other.
Right. I think that the mic and the fact that there's the live button going kind of stop that from coming out.
At the speeds of sweat.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
well, I was on this subject of autism tests. It was about a year and a half ago. I was at a bar in Palermo, and there was this friend of a friend, an Irish guy, who apparently calls himself an expert on these things. I said, this is before I had my ADHD diagnosis, and I was like thinking about autism. And he said, well, you could do an easy test, a physical test. I said, really? He said, yeah. I can't remember which one it was, but he said, can you cross one? It was on my left hand. And he said, can you cross one of your fingers over the others? And I could. And he said, you're not autistic.
I would
I'm not kidding you.
That's not a valid test.
No. Well, I did look at him and think, I did look at him with loaded eyes, thinking, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, what are you talking about?
All right. Well, with that,
there you go. With that bombshell.
Welcome to ADHDville.
Interesting, though. Interesting. About the 2 and the 7. We got there in the end. Tick tock, dee the 2 and the 7. Okay, hello everyone. I'm Paul Thompson, and I was diagnosed with the combined ADH and the D 8 months ago.
And my name is Martin West, and I was diagnosed with ADHD in 2013. Many years ago now.
Many years ago. So we're just two mates who, by coincidence or not, after 39 years of friendship, discover that we're co-ADHDers. Hurrah! Now, it's really important to say this is an entertainment podcast about adult ADHD. It does not substitute, no, for individualized advice from qualified health professionals. Definitely not those.
No.
So don't take any advice from us. We just here as a kind of all-inclusive ADHD park bench with room for everyone, including your doppelgangers, your alter egos, your buddy doubles, your chaperones, and your best buddies. Okay, still here?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay.
I'm still here.
Yeah, thanks for staying with us. So grab your jetpacks, your pedalos, your space hoppers, or any other transportation methods, and let us take you to ADHDville, an imaginary town we've created in our minds. So where we like to take people, you, our listeners, to explore different parts of the ADH and the D.
Oh,
clapping.
Yeah. I forgot to...
sound effects.
Well, no, these are all the people outside of the town hall in the square.
Okay.
What I forgot to tell you was that I'm now piping the sound outside of the mayor's office
we're live
into the town square. And just like the Vatican.
Right.
We we have a small but appreciative crowd out there.
Okay. So we should
So,
go out on the balcony and wave.
Right, we should. But yeah,
Okay.
we start off as always here at the town hall in the mayor's office, where we, the joint mayors of ADHD, take care of business. I'm just get the agenda today, and we're going to be doing a good, bad, and ugly episode.
Because it's
today.
been a while since we did one of these.
Yeah, we did a kind of a catch up on meds just a very short while ago. But yeah, let's jump into the mayor's car, and then we will have to part our way through the throng of people outside.
Yes.
And head to the coffee shop.
Let's close up the sunroof. Have we got a sunroof?
No, because it's otherwise someone could kind of get in through the sunroof.
Yeah.
See, it's like
Yeah.
health and safety. We are important people in ADHDville, and
I once had a car. It was an MG Metro. Is a white one, okay, and it had a leaky sunroof. And the owners of it, they sold it to me knowing that it leaked. But the worst thing about it was that it didn't just leak, but if it had been raining and I was going like round a left-hand kind of corner, the drips would come directly on top of my head as I was driving.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
it
was really annoying.
It did make me think of, and if anyone's got any stories, shove them in the comments. But I like that thought of someone sold me a car knowing that ...
Yes, I like that.
I like that.
Did someone Did someone sell you a car knowing that ...
And I'm just trying. Yeah, someone sold me a Volkswagen Beetle, knowing that the floor had rusted so badly it was almost just going to like totally just come out of the bottom of the car. Like
you'd be like the Flintstones. You'd be like,
yes, right. I would just drop out of the bottom of the car, and then the whole chassis would just carry on.
Right.
Without me, it would just be just like me on a. And some wheels.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Nice. Anyway, all right. So we're in the coffee shop. Is can I get you a drink? While
I'm still off the coffee. I'll just we'll just say cafe orzo, which I think is a barley. Is it barley? Orzo is barley, I think. It's like a barley oatmeal. Oh, oatmeal. Yeah. In that case, oatmeal kind of fake coffee thing.
All right,
how about you?
Nice.
What do you?
I will stick to my green tea, which I am digging.
Okay.
Like it doesn't have.
Someone said recently, I was watching a YouTube thing. Someone said they were self-medicating with coffee.
Right. Yeah.
Which seems bizarre to me.
I used to. Well, the thing is, before I had ADHD or knew I had ADHD, that's what I would do. I would self-medicate with coffee without really knowing it.
Yeah.
So I would have, I would get myself a big coffee, and then I would slowly drink it through the day, rather than kind of like drink coffee gone. I would drip feed it to myself as this constant like little caffeine drip, just to kind of like keep me rolling along.
Okay.
And it would start out as hot coffee, and then it would get colder, and then it would get colder, and I'd just have to pretend that I'd ordered iced coffee, and then that made it easier.
Tepid.
And then I would just carry on.
Okay. Tepid coffee. Talking of tepid coffee, I've actually got drinking from now. Yeah, tepid oatmeal coffee.
All right.
Okay, all
Oatmeal.
right. So we've got today the good, the bad, and the downright ugly.
Mm-hmm.
So how about, do you want to start us off, Martin, with something good
Something
that's
good.
going on? That's going on.
Okay, right. Well, I guess in the good department, tax season passed on for us April the 15th, and I got 2020 last year's taxes. So I got those in on time.
Nice. That's the
And
result. That's the result.
it is a result. Things I've been late for the past 4 years, 5 years, or
Have you
whatever.
got your sound effect? This is a good time for your sound effect. You're clapping.
No. This isn't a sound effect. It's actual people.
Oh,
I have to tell
sorry.
you,
I'm
it's real
sorry. I'm
people.
sorry. I do
Yeah, well,
apologise.
they are all back. I'm guessing that they're back at the town
Sorry.
hall.
God,
You
I've ruined the dramatic effect.
yeah.
Well, I'm not ruining the dramatic effect because I was
No.
wrong.
Right.
Right, okay. Okay.
Oh Christ, I've forgotten
Okay,
what
so
we.
tax, you done your
Oh yes,
taxes.
done the
Chest
taxes.
bumps. Chest
Big thumbs
bumps.
up there. Big thumbs up.
Is that the first time you've done it on time or?
No. This is the first time I've done it on time, but I've because I've been late. I now have about 2019, 2020. I have 4 years that are late. So this one
Right.
is in on time. And just to kind of let you know how American I've become, I now have a tax lawyer. So
Oh,
I've
crikey.
had an immigration lawyer. I've had a parking offences lawyer. I now have a
Oh, my
tax lawyer.
God. Right.
I have. This is
Oh,
my
that sounds like my
third
worst nightmare.
lawyer. Lawyer up. What about you? A good thing.
I'm getting jobbed up. I'm getting jobbed up. Well, as you know, I started a completely new career for having done the
Mm-hmm.
same career for 35 years. Started teaching at high school in January. So it's already been 4 months I've been teaching. Then, but they're already like, okay, I'm not making enough money to, like pay my taxes, or all
Mm-hmm.
those kind of things and my bills. And then all of a sudden, well, I was in Palermo last weekend and I have a friend there. I've always had teachers as part of my life at some point. My first wife was a teacher. Friends of friends were teachers. I think you've had your relationships with teachers as well. But also, I've got a friend of mine who's an English teacher in Palermo. She said, "Oh, Paul, if I'd known that you were interested in teaching, I could have found you a job," which
Oh.
is really kind of her in Palermo. And I said, "Well, actually, I didn't even know a year ago that's even something that didn't even enter my mind a year ago."
Mm-hmm.
So so that was that. Came back to northern Italy. And I got literally, I flew back to Bergamo Airport, got in the car, went directly to the school to have my first ever parents' meetings.
Oh yeah, I can remember you saying
Yeah.
that.
So I did those, and one mother came in and she said, "Oh, by the way, all the students love you. And by the way, I'm a secretary at another school, at a middle school, and would you like to come and teach there?" So I said, "Well,
Ooh.
yeah, that sounds like it could happen." Then, if that wasn't enough, the day
Mm-hmm.
after that, I got an email inviting me to, because I did an interview about a month ago, saying I've got the job, basically, teaching adults in the evenings.
Huh.
So basically, it looks like by October, because of the school year, it started in October, September, October, I'm going to be a full-time teacher by then.
Blimey,
Yeah. So
blimey.
it's all
That's
happening. So you could say, peeps on the podcast say, well, what's that got to do with ADHD? Come on, Thompson. Get on the same song sheet or whatever. Well, the
hmm
song sheet being, it's like, apart from unmasking, as I'm gradually trying to do over the last few months since my diagnosis, it's also just uncovering skills that I didn't. I mean, someone has said to me just a year ago, Paul, you're going to be teaching at a high school in 12 months' time. I'd say you're out of your mind.
mind.
And like this, it seems to me, it's not just a coincidence that unmasking is just also like uncovering to me.
hmm
It's
Right,
like, blimey,
right.
It's
Yeah,
like all the like the covers have come off, and it's like, okay, so what this means is I could do anything I want to, really.
yeah, yeah. I think you've proved that pretty well.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, I am aware because I am pretty. I've always been quite fearless. I've always been able to like jump into situations that a lot of people that I know would find really really scary. I've always been able to jump and fearlessly into things. But there's like a caveat. I'm thinking, but I'm 57 years old now. I mean, there's a danger of burnout. But if I burn out, I burn out. I'm wary of it. Taking on potentially, I'll be working in 4 different schools with 4 different systems.
hmm
You know, that could be hardcore.
right.
But anyway, you'll see.
All right,
I'll do
that's
it. I'll do
cool.
it anyway. Yeah,
So that's a good. All right, and
that's
then we
good.
go onto a bad.
Mm.
What? So let me think. Bad ADHD. Bad ADHD. Um. Yeah. This week has been not great for my ADHD. So I'll tell you later. But when you kind of get there's something else big going in your life, and it kind of drops in, right?
Mm.
You're I will tend to hyperfixate on this new big thing, and then
Hmm.
it can stop me from thinking about all the normal things that I should be doing.
Right.
So I've
Yeah.
set up. So for example, I've set up this system, which was when I was using it for about a week or so. It was working really well. I think I used it for 2 weeks. I think, um, which is I get these little wristbands, right? I don't think I've got
Okay.
any here, but it's like a little wristband with a little bit of plastic in it, and
Hmm.
and it has a tag, and you can write something on it. So what I did is I've got all these tasks that I have to do during the week, like clean the bathroom, vacuum,
Uh huh.
all this kind of stuff, right? So I wrote all of these tags of all these jobs that I had to do every day for and I and every morning I would go down and I would pick 2 or 3 of these tags, right? And I would put them on my wrist, and they would like just jangle around,
Okay.
and it might say clear up the TV room,
Yeah. Yeah.
do
Yeah.
laundry, whatever, right? And then
Yeah.
on that day, I wouldn't forget, because I'd be going around the house. These things would be jangling on my wrists, right? So it's a
Jingly
constant reminder that
jangly.
I've got these things to do.
Yeah.
And I go, oh yeah, let's
Okay.
do the bathroom, let's do some
Uh
laundry. And
huh.
my aim would be to get these things off my wrist by the end of the day, right?
Right.
So in that way, rather than
Nice.
leaving tasks so they piled up, it would be
Yeah.
like I would do more like little and often.
Yeah.
And that was going really well up until there's a lot of stuff going on in my private l- life, and then my focus turned away from
Hmm.
that. So I've got to kind of like, so my bad thing is I've got to is I have to pick that back up again, and
Right.
I haven't. It was a system that was working for me, and how many times has this happened? You've got something that works for you.
Right.
You go, oh, great, yeah, this works for me. This is helpful, and then something happens, and it derails you, and then you kind of go,
Yeah.
and then you have trouble getting back on the horse again.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, that's happened to me in the past when I know that there's certain things that I can do that do help me, and I don't do them anyway. Right.
Mm.
So like, if I'm like in a bad mood and I'm a bit of a bit going down a bit of a tunnel of just in a bad mood, I know that I can pick up my camera and go for a walk and just take photographs, and it works every single time. But I don't always do it because I think there's like a bit of a comfort blanket, for, at least in my case. I quite like being a bit kind of melancholic occasionally. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. No, I hear you.
it's
I
quite
hear you.
attractive sometimes. God
I
damn
like
it!
being in a bad mood. I like being
Yeah, yeah. Well,
a
there's
grumpy old
a
man.
very famous, really famous Italian poet, even though he didn't know it. I could have
Sounds
left
like
that
that.
out, to be honest. Yeah, his name was D'Annunzio, and he was
Okay.
around in the 1930s and 40s, by Lake Garda, and he's got a house there in Lake Garda, and he had a room specifically for depression. It's where he went when he was depressed,
Right.
and I kind of admire that. I could do that. That'd be a
You know
really
what?
cool room.
It reminds me of, like, I would sometimes hear stories about like families back in the past, and they go, "Oh yeah, the husband or whatever would
Hmm.
go off into the woods for a couple of days, right? When
Right?
you had like a
Yeah.
sort of some sort of like mood come on, and he'd just go into the woods for a
Come
couple of
on.
days,
Yeah.
and then he would come back again.
Right. Nice. It's nice.
Sounds
It's nice.
sounds a
Actually,
bit like that.
hang on a second. 'Cause I've got something here.
All right, I'm just going to hang on a
So,
second.
this is here we go. Oh,
Here we
I'm
go.
back. This
He's
is
back.
something our friend, mine and your friend Jonathan. He sent me these.
All right.
This is the Italian version of it. Show it up for the people watching
All right.
on
Tristezia.
YouTube's Tristezia non mi fa
All right.
paura. It means sadness or misery. You don't scare me. And the
Okay.
idea of the book, it's actually a book written for kids, but it's freaking genius. Basically saying, give it a hug. Give that sadness in you. Don't pretend it doesn't exist. It is part of you. But give it a hug. Actually,
Yeah.
on the front cover, it's like the version of you pointing a finger at the belly of your fears and saying, "I'm not scared of you. Just give it a hug."
Yeah.
That
Be
was really
fucking
cool.
kind to yourself.
Yeah. Or if you like D'Annunzio, you could make your own freaking room and go there for such times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
All right. Well, did all right. I did bad.
Yes. I've got
Did you do
bad
bad?
here. Not yet. No. I've got bad. Well, it's kind of like it's bad, but I'm not sure how bad or good it's going to be. So I put it in bad anyway. Next week, I've got a new appointment with at the hospital for my meds.
Okay.
Because I've been off my meds for about 3 or 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
About 3 months. I wasn't getting on with it. I was on Ritalin, and I was just getting like a racy heart in the evening, and it was like a bit uncomfortable, so I stopped.
Yeah.
And a little bit out of curiosity, I didn't actually make an appointment straight away and say, "No, sorry, but this didn't work. Let's try another thing." I wanted to like see how it went without, and it's okay. It was okay, but now I'm like thinking, I think I'm going to try the last time because I've tried. That's the second type of meds that I've tried. I'm going to try it one last time. So I've got an appointment next week. If nothing else, out of curiosity, I'm going to see if there's something else out there that could help me. Bearing in mind that 20% of ADHDers don't find meds that work for them.
Right.
But just curious, I haven't had any medication that's helped me organize my thoughts, declutter my mind, or anything like that. But and maybe I won't find anything, but I would like to find something that stopped me from being impulsive.
Right.
Yeah, which I'll get on to when we talk about the bad part.
This is the bad part.
Sorry, the ugly.
All right.
The ugly part.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
So yeah, that's it really.
Well, why don't you just slide into the
segue.
ugly part?
All right. Yeah, okay, that makes sense, doesn't it? So yeah, because I was in Palermo and I was like, oh, that impulsive part of Paul was thinking, oh, Paul, let's move back to Palermo. I was like, oh God, really? Knowing what I know now, the draw of that impulsive part of Paul.
Mm-hmm.
It's like say, oh yeah, let's just make a big fucking mess again.
Mm-hmm.
Spend a lot of money, and all that energy. No, Paul, stop it.
Right.
So yeah.
I mean, as you're kind of saying there, like just being aware of it is helpful.
Yeah.
Plus, also, I mean, I tend to find that if I have those kind of thoughts, that I'll go, all right, well, let's see how I feel in a week's time or something or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you make no decisions. You just kind of go, oh, I'll just think about this for a while, and then at some point you kind of go, as you go, right? Oh yeah, no, this that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. What am I doing?
It stinks as an idea. That's crazy.
Yeah, stupid. And then that's fine, because at that point, what you haven't done is like tell everyone that you're going back to Palermo, and there's now a goodbye birthday party for you, and you've signed up on the rent of a room somewhere, and now you're like stuck.
My friends in Palermo saying, "Come on, Paul, come back, come on, yay!" Two of them have even found jobs for me virtually, and offering to find an apartment. All this kind of thing. No.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
sucks.
But the draw is so strong. But it's a good thing, as you said. Being aware of it, head it off at the pass. Apply a bit of logic to it, and it's like I did a bit of the what ifs. I was like, what if you stayed where you are, Paul?
Mm-hmm.
I have a really good life here where I am.
Right?
It would be ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my ugly. Have you got anything ugly, Mr. West?
My fucking ugliness. All right. Okay. There is an ugly thing which is forming in the back of my mind. I just have to try and remember what the thread of the whole thing is. It's something like, oh Christ! Hang on a second. Where do I end up? Okay, guilt spirals, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so if you go back to the tax thing, where I feel really bad about not doing taxes, right? So I miss 1 year, say I missed doing 2019, and then I feel really bad and guilty about that. So when 2020 tax season comes up, I'm in my little shame spiral, and I don't do 2020, right? And so it goes on, and then it just becomes a big thing, and then you don't do anything, and then it takes some big threat or something to happen in order for you to kind of pull your ass out of the fire, or to kind of you to do something. And my kind of conversation with my wife is kind of like, I've got this guilt shame. And she's like, right, well, that's there is always something with you that is a shame spiral. And I'm going, what do you mean? And she said, well, before the taxes, it was buying this house. Like where she would go up, I want to move to a house. I'm like, oh, I don't know, and I wouldn't kind of get involved in the process for ages, and then I eventually did, right? And then before that, it was getting married, and before that, it was getting a divorce. And she says, all these guilt spiral things, right? It's almost like I need one to be running at all times in the background, because there's always seems to be one big one. Like just when you finish one, then you'll invent something else to shame spiral on, and then that will be your shame spiral for the next couple of years. Like I almost need one, and that's like, oh
right.
God, this is. I was like, oh
So
God, so I could be manufacturing them because I need one, because whether it's like my that thing of like, if you have low self-esteem, then you really need something to point at to say you've got low self-esteem. So it's like, right, well, I'm so in this case it's like shame. I have to have something to shame spiral about in order to feed my low self-esteem, to kind of keep that working, because I feel like it's such an integral part of me that it needs to be fed something.
No, I totally get it. I've because I have the same thing, and I've always it seems like it's something I always have to carry with me. Sometimes I've expressed it as like a comfort blanket, even though it seems really ridiculous that you would find comfort from it. But it actually, the fact that I've carried that idea that it is a comfort blanket, I've carried that concept for years now. There must be some truth in it, I think. That's one thing. There's also an element of I think, self-esteem you're talking about. One conclusion, not conclusion, one train of thought I had was that deep down, I don't think I'm worthy of being, entirely happy. It's like it reminds us saying, "What are you doing, Paul? What are you doing, Paul? Are you being happy? What the fuck? No, come back to that comfort blanket." And that unworthiness. It's just like we were talking before about these kind of really ridiculous things that are somehow attractive. It's really annoying.
Right.
It's really irritating. But
I think that there's this thought that we're all supposed to be happy, right? We're all supposed to be happy, and that's what you aim for. But actually, people tend to be afraid to be happy, right? Because you would much rather be in the comfort zone, if you like, of your security blanket, right? Because that's much more of a lifetime comfortable place. Is like there's some sort of self-loathing and misery and crap, right? And actually being happy, that's the scary. It's easier to face the darkness than it is to kind of face the light.
The times that I've in my past that I've self-sabotage are often, bizarrely, probably not for you, but for maybe other people that are unlike me or you. Bizarrely, the times that I have this instinct to self-sabotage is when I'm most happiest. Because at least that way it's in control. When I'm happy, I feel like, okay, danger is around the corner. It's like I'm happy, it's going to be short-lived, so I may as well be in control of it when it does go shitty, and I self-sabotage.
Right. Oh yeah. That's an interesting thought, isn't it? Like when you're happy, it's kind of a bit out of control. So in order to
Yeah.
control that happiness,
Yeah.
you are the one to take it away, right?
Yeah.
Therefore you self-sabotage, and you can take away that
Exactly.
happiness, and you're in control.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like someone once said. Sorry, do you remember, Martin, we went to that thing, that course in London? What was
Which
it
one?
called? Landmark Forum
Oh,
course.
I did think of that
Right.
just a little bit earlier.
Okay. And there was a girl that
Yeah.
got up, and usually there were these usual kind of formats were that there would be one guy or woman that led the course, and there'd be like 100 people in front of them, and people would get up and they would talk about themselves and talk about what was going on in their lives. This lady got up and she said, I've had this problem with this boyfriend, I've had that problem with this boyfriend, and blah, blah, blah. And the guy said, who's always there when you choose the wrong partner? And she thought for a second. She said, well, me. I'm always there when I choose the wrong partner. And I think this was the same came to mind because I think it's the same reason. She at least she's in control of it. If it goes crap, at least she can say, okay, at least I had control of it. And, she had her own handle on it,
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think, like I tend to ask myself, or I try to remember to ask myself in all these things, is what am I getting out of it? So
Right.
whatever that is, whatever the self-sabotaging or the shame spiral or whatever it is, it's like I don't want to be here, but I seem to be always doing it. So what am I
Right.
getting out of it? What am I getting out of it? And you have to sit there and kind of go, well, why? And then that is always a really fruitful question to ask yourself, because your natural thing is to go, I don't want to be in this place. Why do I want to be miserable? Why do I want to shame spiral? Why do I want to self-sabotage? Why would anyone choose to do that? And then when you stop those statements and go, okay, what do I get out of it? Then then that is always going to come up with an answer that you can use to kind of actually get out.
Yeah. I remember I was actually on holiday in Greece when I had came up with this thought, this revelation to me at the time that, oh my God, holy crap, I self-sabotage when I'm at my happiest. And it really upset me. I was really upset by that.
I bet it would.
I could tell it resonate because I bawled my eyes out. It really upset me. It's like, holy fucking crap. How twisted is that?
Oh, yeah. Fucked up.
My God, it's fucked
properly
up.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Good and proper.
So.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Well, I think we've kind of done the
that
good
was
and
pretty
the bad.
ugly. That was a good ugly.
That was a good ugly.
That was a good ugly. Oh
yeah, I know. It got deep there, deep.
Nice.
Now we have to kind of come
we're
back
laughing.
up. Well, yeah. Now
let's laugh about it. Ha ha ha! Self-sabotage always gets me giggling.
Right. Let me just try and self-sabotage this podcast by putting my lens cap down.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't
do it.
My visual's gone. It's all getting horrible. All right. Okay.
Oh, it sounds gravelly.
Let's get back into the car and we'll go over to the post office to see if we've got any mail. Hang on, let's go. All right.
So it's your feedback. It says here is really vital to us. No, it honestly is. We read all of your comments, and we might read out yours on a future podcast, like this one. I think Martin's got something from David.
I do, but before I kind of say that, if you are listening to this, firstly, like, thanks for listening,
Yeah.
just being there. I know that you're out there, whether you're kind of like listen where you're driving around in your van or on the way to work,
Or making your breakfast.
right? Or in the kitchen. It's just I know that it's just Paul and I just chatting to each other, which is kind of something that we do anyway. But just to kind of have you out there listening, it just kind of keeps us trucking along. So
Does.
let us know in the comments or send us an email or whatever, because we would love to hear from you. So this comment came from David, who we follow, and he follows us on TikTok. I think his handles is my ADHD journey, and he says, "Ooh, I love a Tuesday now." Smiley face emoji. Ooh, I love it. So our podcast comes out every Tuesday.
Ooh.
It brightens up his Tuesday. And I replied saying, the thought of you running around town in your van, listening to us to yabber on, makes us so happy. And he said,
does.
I'm glad it does. It really does me too. I posted a video yesterday about finding your tribe. It is so lovely to listen to you two finally having found my tribe. So yeah.
That's great.
Cheers, David.
Warms your cockles.
It does. Yeah.
I don't know if that's to Americans that may sound a bit weird, but it works in England. It just warms you, gives you a warm feeling inside. Nice.
Right. So yeah, drop us a line. It means just even with a thumbs up. Who cares? I mean, just say hi. All right, let's jump into the mayor's car, and we're going to just go back to the mayor's office quickly.
Yeah. Some rubber stamping.
Oh, okay. Well,
the crowd's still there.
Crowd's still there. Obviously, great.
Still enthusiastic as well.
I know. So that's cool. All right. So, so this is just to remind you that ADHD is delivered fresh every Tuesday to all purveyors of fine podcasts. Please subscribe to our pod. Rate us. Most dark and depressing sometimes, but also happy and funny. Light and dark.
Wholesome, even.
Wholesome, yeah.
I don't think I've ever been wholesome in my life, but anyway.
And feel free to
know what it is.
I think it means like whole.
How do you be wholesome?
I don't know. I think it has sort of Christian overtones.
Biblical. Something biblical.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. But feel free to correspond at will in our comments. But wait, there is more. If you wish to see our beautiful, beautiful faces, then Sally Forth to YouTube.
Or Sally Fields.
Or Sally Fields your way over. You can also pick up your quill and email us at ADHDville@gmail.com. So yeah, visit us on TikTok because it's a whole vibe over there. It's a whole thing.
It's the outro, Martin.
Yep. You can see us on the YouTubes, a couple of friends called Facebook and Instagram. But in the meantime, be fucking kind to yourself.
And I beseech you, fellow ADHDers, know thyselves, sons of the hounds, come hither and get the flesh.
Which I'm going with fish. Fish will be the flesh that I'm going to get.
It is quite fleshy.
A nice cod fillet, I'm feeling.
Nice. Yeah, which, as you pointed out, if you go for the cod fillet with the batter, it's actually Portuguese.
Yeah. Came
the fish and chip concept is Portuguese.
Yeah, came from there in the 15th century or something. Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just
Cheers.
remember to vote for us on election day, please.
Oh, absolutely.
There, says the mayor. That's that.